What's happening, y'all? Scorpius here. We finally got some brand new information for patch 0.2.1 of Path of Exile 2. They actually clarified some information and helped us understand what problems they fixed with the uniques, and also introduced a few new uniques that we're going to be getting. Now, they did mention that the patch is going to drop tomorrow, and that depends on when you're watching the video, but their post today was at 7:30 a.m., which is on the 5th of June, and they said tomorrow, which means it's going to be 6th of June, therefore Friday. What time during the day? I have no idea, but it's going to be on Friday, which is good news. This patch is going to be massive. But just like every single time, whenever I see that there's important information, we try and simplify everything and we look at what's coming so we know exactly what's going to happen. So starting things off, they did clarify the uniqueness rarity tiers of uniques. For example, we have common, uncommon, rare, and mythic. Mythic is things like Headhunters, Mjolnirs, Astramentus, right? It's good to know all of this because of what problems existed that they actually fixed. So they're saying that mythic uniques, such as the above that we just said, were 47,000 times more rare than a simple divine orb, which obviously is an error, and they fixed that. The second issue is item class filtering made certain slots like rings and amulets much less likely to drop a unique. Because of the item class filtering, it's always going to try and prioritize what you need, and therefore you're going to get some rings and amulets that might be decent for your class. Well, now they actually regulated that and they equalized it in a way so uniques are much more common to overpass the class filtering. And with that same idea, the mythic drop rates, again the good rare uniques, were based on the PoE 1's system, where far more uniques dropped overall. Now, the new drop system is going to consist of item class restriction has been completely removed. Mythic amulet is now as likely as a mythic weapon. Next, we've got rarity scaling has been adjusted. Common uniques drop less often in high rarity maps. So the more rarity you have in your maps, the less likely you will find common uniques. Common uniques are the trash uniques, right? So nobody cares about them. You're not going to see them that often if you have high rarity maps. Then we've got mythic drop rate buffed massively. We don't know the percentage, but we're going to find out. And as a result of all of this, they're claiming that the chase uniques now will feel real and not theoretical. So I guess heavy belts and stellar amulets or things like that are going to convert more often to the actual uniques that we want, which might mean that the uniques are going to drop in value because more people are going to have them. But let's see. The next few things we're going to look at are the brand new uniques that are coming out, and I'm really excited for them. The first one is Lion Eyes Glare Heavy Bow. Now you're going to notice that the colors here that I added are two different colors, and the reason why is because the white in the entire name of all of the uniques is the chase item that you want to find, so you can orb of chance it so you can be able to get this actual unique. And what it has loads of physical damage, accuracy rating, increased attack speed, and dexterity. The important stuff though are the two other mods. +2 meters to dodge roll if you don't spam it, and -1 meters if you spam it. So the further away you are, the better, because the further away you are, the less engaged you're going to be, the less you need to spam your dodge roll. And lastly, barrageable attacks repeat an extra time if you have no enemies around you. And by the way, you can see which attack is barrageable on the top of the spell. Next, we've got the last lament, Desolate Crossbow. Again, Desolate Crossbow is the base that you want to look for to try and potentially chance this into the last lament. Now, this one has high physical, attack speed, and life leech. Chance to load a bolt on all crossbow skills on kill. Sacrifices life instead of consuming the last bolt, but it does reduce reload speed further. And to top it all off, this crossbow is going to give you a brand new ability called Requiem. This ability will passively gain souls while you're killing everything else, and when they're fully charged, you can actually use this skill to release those souls, dealing cold damage and not using any ammunition. Again, a pretty nice looking unique. I'm really excited to see what people are going to think of, what builds are going to come out from this one, if any. Next one, I really like the next one, the Whispering Ice Permafrost Staff. Again, it's a returning PoE 1 unique coming to PoE 2. This one gives you levels of all cold spell skills, which is big, increased intellect, but reduces your cast speed, and the most important here is it increases your spell damage per 10 intelligence, and not only that, but it also inflicts cold exposure on hit. I think this is going to be a massive staff, and I'm really looking forward to see if there's going to be any cold builds that are going to use a staff finally that's going to overcome or overpass or reach the damage of any other meta build based on the intelligence stacking in this patch as well. Let's see. But this staff also provides you with 2 new abilities. One of them is going to be an aura, Heart of Ice, which is going to deal damage and chill all enemies in your presence. Cool stuff, and also it's not going to reserve any spirit. And the second one is Ice Storm, which is a spell, which you're going to be able to use it. You're going to be able to hail icy bolts over an area, dealing damage. That area, you select the area. And if enemies in front of you are chilled or frozen, then the same Ice Storm will consume those effects, the chill and the frozen, to improve its damage significantly. And last but not least, I think this right here is the most exciting one. It's a complete gamba, but let me just not spoil it. We've got Kadiro's Gambit Primed Quiver. It increases attack speed, but most importantly, each arrow you shoot while having the quiver will result in being one of 6 unique new triggers. Trigger number 1, we've got Crescendo Arrows, which will chain additional times, dealing more damage per additional chain. We've got Splinter Arrows, will split towards more targets. Then Reversing Arrow will pierce your targets and then return back to you, dealing more damage. Then we've got the Diamond Arrow, will always be critical hit and has increased critical damage bonus. Then we've got the most broken one that I've seen, and I don't even know if they're going to adjust this or if it's going to be too rare to get to that arrow. But Covetous Arrow will provide you with 600% increased rarity on enemies you killed with them. Crazy stuff. And the last one that they previewed is Blunt Arrows, which will cause a massive increase of stun buildup. For anybody who doesn't understand what all of these triggers are, is you're simply going to use that quiver. You're going to start doing maps or bosses or whatever the case is, and every single arrow that you throw with your bow while you have this quiver equipped is going to trigger one of these 6 things. So completely gambling RNG kind of thing, and depending on your luck is what you're going to get. One arrow could be a Splinter Arrow, one arrow could be a Reversing Arrow. Then you hit the boss and you manage to kill the boss with Covetous Arrow. That's going to apply 600% increased rarity on the enemy that you just killed. So I don't know what we're expected to see here, but these are all of the uniques that they actually featured. We've got 4 of them, 2 returning from PoE 1, 2 PoE 2, actually not returning, but added to PoE 2 from PoE 1, and the other 2 are brand new. They haven't featured anything else. They haven't shared anything else. They did say that there's going to be a lot of changes on existing uniques that we currently have, like chance uniques and endgame uniques in general, but that's basically it for everything that we know for this patch. Tomorrow's going to be a big day, so let me know if you guys enjoyed this, and if you have any questions, ask away in the comments or join us live over on twitch.tv/Scorpius_ENT. Thank you very much as always for watching, and I'm going to see you guys on the next one. Peace.